Since these old movies don't have a soundtrack, I'll provide one by way of narrative here as to who's who. This is Mom and Me, Larry, uh, probably 1943. End of 1943. I must have been just a few months old there, having been born in May. And this is a family stroll with Paul, me, and the grandparents, my mother's parents and mother. My dad's obviously at the camera. And I'm guessing this is around Lake Harriet, but I can't be certain. It's one of the Minneapolis lakes anyway, as we will see further here. And that we used to call her Nana with her great purple hat. And this is Babu. Here we are at the lake, and my dad's always hamming it up for the camera. Paul is hanging around his shoulders. We'll get a better shot soon. And he's wearing his little red knit outfit that Jesse ultimately inherits and wears. More horsing around. Looks like a somewhat cold day at the lake there. There's Paul in his outfit. Babu. Paul has decided to make a drum out of this car, banging away. Musical talent showing early. And this is Paul and me now, riding our tricycles in our little sailor outfits. Here I think I look a lot like my grandson Mitchell in this shot. And there's Sue, baby Sue, me and Paul in the background. Behind them, the Model A Ford or Model T, I can't tell what the difference. Was the old Tin Lizzie anyway? They called Daisy or Gypsy or something like that. All the kiddies. My dad looks like a boy there. He probably was. And I believe that's Dorothy Reynolds, one of my mom's friends, horsing with us. There's Sue with the smile that is uniquely Sue's. She had that same kind of smile as an adult. I'm hiding in the background there. Hamming it up again. There's Sue in her little bassinet. Now here's this scene coming up where Paul discovers how you can alter the amount of water in a bucket so you can lift it up and then do fun stuff with it. And of course, I've got to be there present with a hammer just in case there's a need to use that. So this is, I believe, behind the house on 1202 Lawndale in Royal Oak. And yeah, Paul's getting it just right. There he goes. Oh, not yet. And oh, he's inundated himself. And I want to be a part of this action too, so I'm going to get into the bucket there with him. but then they're not. Then I get a little spray, and that's no good. I don't know where that water came from. When? This is now what I am certain is what we used to call Upper Lake Harriet. It's a park area just near the lake. And all these young mothers are getting together with their kids to try out the swing sets. It's an age before internet or even TV. And so you'd actually go outside and do things. There again, I think is Dorothy Reynolds, Paul in the swing. And I think that's me in Dorothy's lap there. And there are other people there. I think someone named Olson. I can't be sure anymore. Everybody was having kids. Come to think of it, that looks like Dorothy Reynolds there, so I got the wrong name for the other one. And this one I don't know at all. Can't remember the name at all. And I remember she was pregnant. My mom said people didn't like to show that off on camera. Yep, that definitely is Dorothy Reynolds right there. I remember her. So, whoever the other lady is. Now, this is Riceville, and there's Aunt Helen in the background. And we got sailor suits again on, looks like. And hard to see who's there in this underexposed film, but I believe that is young Sue. Yep, and there's me. Actually, those may have been the same sailor suits in the other picture. And there's the Riceville house in Iowa, where we would go every summer and get spoiled. The place still stands, although it's crumbling. And Jesse, Paul, and I went to visit there in 2005. The new owners have kind of let the place just fall apart. Those big trees are still there. In the back, there's the log cabin that the ancestors lived in while they built the brick house. And there's the barn, and that still stands. Hard to see who these people are, but And there's Nana with young Sue, just beginning to walk. With her beads. And we just got a glimpse there of Margie in the pink thing. Now this segues to, I think, the backyard in 1202 Lawndale in Royal Oak, Michigan. And that's Sue with some kid in the neighborhood. Can't remember, of course, who that is. Little towheads. And Paul and I are wearing matching checkered outfits. You'll see in a minute. There we go. With our little berets. Oh no, I've got my little Fauntleroy outfit on. Lord Fauntleroy and soccer boy. Paul's trying to get Sue to play ball, so it was just not working. And I'm too busy sucking my thumb, it looks like. Paul's determined to get a ball game going. So Mom gets in the picture there briefly. Sue pretty soon here discovers a rake that she finds quite interesting, and somehow the camera keeps running. I guess this is it. My dog snoring in the background. There's a neighborhood kid whose name Paul will remember, but I can't. Seriously at work. I remember the picket fences that kind of crossed all the lawns behind the backyards, behind the houses. So it was one big network of picket fences. Paul busy digging. There's the rake. I think at this point I would stop the camera, but nope, it poised right over the open rake. The show must go on. Trying her best. Now this is, I believe, at the grandparents' home in North Minneapolis, and Nancy and her sister, whom we called Barbie then, now Fawn, are helping Sue walk. And I believe this is probably on a Sunday day when people got dressed up and went over to the grandparents' house on Tyler Street. And I'm talking about Grandma Mary and Grandpa Oscar, my dad's parents, those grandparents. And unfortunately, I don't think these show up. Although here's Aunt Helen, the mother of cousins Dan and Edward, who are there as well. There's Nancy with Sue. Nancy and Barbie taking Sue for a stroll. I think briefly you just saw Paul and me in the background there. Yeah. Kind of out of the picture.